slide. So basically, we have majorly two things which we would like to discuss today regarding image vision AI, which Marco will demonstrate a live demo of how it's done. It's the feature we added last week itself. It was one of the most requested feature, and the second thing being rate limiting your agents using the starter kit. So usually people were like they usually get a few queries, 500,000, and maybe some folks can come in and they use queries which they should not be using, or spam in a way that depletes the users the quota of queries. So with this rate limiting applied, you can basically add like I just want this particular agent to not answer more than 5 queries per minute, or 5 queries per hour, or 50 queries per minute. It can be anything. It's fully customizable by on your end. So that's something I'm excited to demo you. That will be done after Marco has shown you how the new image vision AI things work. So yeah, the recordings for this will be obviously available. We'll be sending to everyone who registered for it. If you are, I assume everyone on this call is already on our Slack, so there's no need for this slide. And yeah, so let's quickly discuss what got improved from the last dev office hours that we did. And basically on that, we added Claude 4.5 Sonnet, which is available to all the users who have the AI model dropdown available to them. You can also export conversation as PDF, which was not the case, but it's available to all of them. This is a feature which, as of my understanding, is not even available to Chat GPT users, but it's available to Sonnet users. So that's something cool which users like wanted to. If you don't have to share all your conversation by taking screenshots or dumping the markdown or copying the text, you can just print it, share the PDF with anyone you want to share your conversation history with, or the conversation with our RAG agent. And then you can customize mobile font size. That's a customization we did on the design side of things. Next, moving on. Now, I think Anupam has a question. Yeah, Anupam.
Yeah, Priyansh, on the previous slide, right? The export conversation as PDF is
Yeah.
available to everyone, and it has no relation with the model, LLM model. Just a correction there.
Okay, okay. Yeah. I think might have the slip of tongue. So, yeah, that's there. And moving on, now lead capture agent actions is also available. So you can export the leads that your revenue agent takes from the website where you have added the agent. You can export that as CSV. You can send that to Zapier, do any sort of things you wanted to. So this is also something that we released around 8 to 9 days ago. So it's also well documented on our documentation. If this is something that interests you, feel free to visit our documentation. I'll send you the link just when Marco starts demoing his side of things. So you can also then combine this feature, that lead capture agentic action, with drive conversations and web page awareness. So this might sound like some words or buzzwords to you. I'll just share the link on how it's done exactly. We have proper documentation for that as well. Moving on. So yeah, that's the regular part of thing. Now I'll just hand this over to Marco for the demo thing. Yep, Marco, over to you.
Yeah, hey everybody. So just do a quick demo of this new feature that we released and explain a little bit what's going on under the hood. So we had this image citation feature for a while, where if image is used for response, it was displayed in the chat. But now we actually have a feature where we use advanced AI vision to understand what was on that image, and then it can be used in responses with way more value. And AI can now understand both photos and charts and diagrams and stuff like that, which I will show you in a minute. And basically, it is very simple to build an agent with that. Just when you are uploading files, select AI vision processing, or click on AI vision processing icon, and the images will then be automatically processed with this. And you can then do some sort of search with text with standard prompt, and AI will return images. But the best way to display this is not talk about it, but show it. So let me do just that. Do you see my screen?
Not yet.
It says that I'm sharing. Let me try again.
Let me stop sharing mine. Yep, it's visible now. Okay, it's not visible again.
Yeah, I closed it to try again. Okay, I think you have it now. So to create a new agent with this, simply click on this AI Vision button, select some photos on your computer, and basically click create, and that's it. Right now, it's only possible to do so with uploaded photos, but what we'll be adding in the future is to have this working with photos from Google Drive, from SharePoint, sources like that. And at the next stage, also being able to get images from websites and from PDFs and any other type of content, which will be especially invaluable for stuff like online stores and shops, where you'll be able to pull all the product data and use it when somebody asks for some product, just show it right there, which is going to be my first example, actually. This is agent built with basically photos of different types of shoes. And and it has just photos in its knowledge base. So there is no document, no uploaded text or something like that. So I will now ask it something like, for example, what are your best urban shoes? And it will use its knowledge. These image citations, they are rendered at the end of streaming, and they are in place of those number references. So they replace them. We'll get them in a bit. So it now offered me some products along with their descriptions. And what happens here in the background is when you upload a photo, AI uses vision to figure out what's there, to describe it, write a description of all the details that's happening in the picture, and we save that in our vector database. So next time you come and make some prompt like this, AI will be able to use that and connect it with the image. So this is one use case using for this type of product search. There are some more I wanted to show. This second one has a diagram about some AWS architecture together with one article about that. And the question is, describes the business logic tier in the three-tier architecture of AWS, where it will use everything it has at its disposal to try to answer this. And here it is. So it used both the text article and then described what's happening on the chart in that particular part of the chart. And this can be used to go with all sorts of product manuals, tech diagrams. You can just now upload them to the agent, and it should be able to figure out what's happening there and provide the user way more explanation than it was before. If you tried to use images before, it was just doing basically OCR, which is not very useful in many complicated cases like this. Now it's actually able to understand what's happening and provide detailed response. And as my third example, I will use to compare charts. So what this agent has in knowledge base is just basically two screenshots from Google results for Apple and Nvidia stock over, I think it was like 5-year period or something like that. We'll see it soon enough. So it is getting all this information just from the screenshots that it will also display as soon as streaming is finished. And it got all this from the image. This image and second for NVIDIA as well. So it can be used with charts. And there is also another use case, which is still kind of experimental. When you use our document analyst feature, you can upload the image and it will also be analyzed using vision. And you can potentially use it to search itself, in a sense, compare image with image. But as citations are still not supported in document analyst, you will not be able to get these images in the response. So it is still not yet useful. It's more kind of a nice beta experimental feature, but real use cases will come in the near future when we enable citations and the image citation there as well. So yeah, this was a little demo I wanted to show you about this. And if you have any questions about how the thing works, some other use case ideas, please let me know so we can
Thomas has
chat about
asked a
that.
question in the chat.
Sorry?
Thomas has asked a question in the chat. Can it display the images that may be part of docs or files that are in the knowledge base?
No, right now only if you uploaded the file in particular files. So it cannot get images from other sources. We will enable that in the future.
And how will this be different from just normal OCR? Because OCR can also read texts and answer based on that. So it's advanced
Yeah,
version.
Yeah, so there are two main differences between OCR and this. One main difference is that this uses AI in normal modern LLM sense and reasoning. So it is able to understand photos. Like if you use OCR on a photo, you will get empty string basically. But this is able, like if you upload a photo of an elephant, it will describe elephant in the jungle or savannah or whatever is happening there. And it will be able to then use it for response. But if you just want to do OCR, so if you just have some sort of text and want to extract it, then it is not that good of a choice because it is still AI with a little variance there. So it will not extract text verbatim as it is. It will maybe have some little mistakes and so on. So if you just want like text to be extracted in complete one-to-one state, better to use OCR. But still, this difference is going to be very minor. So for the purposes of then using that to provide responses, it should all be fine. And AI will be a lot better if you have some, I don't know, handwriting text or something that is not easily readable. AI will do better job than OCR. But OpenAI give kind of a disclaimer that it works well for English. Other languages are still kind of sketchy. So that's one thing to keep in mind.
Got it. I hope that answers your question, Thomas.
Yeah, that gave me a little bit more info. Thank you.
Great.
Okay, so yeah, that was for this demo.
Okay, let me share my screen again. Great. So after this vision thing is done, let's move on to the rate limit thing. So these are a few screenshots on how the rate limiting feature that we have added to Starter Kit looks like. So these are two features, that screenshots, and I'll show you actual demo of how it looks like. So yeah, so first of all, you have to just start your Starter Kit. The instructions are fairly simple. You just have to go here, fork this repo or clone this repo, whatever suits you, and just depend all the dependencies, use npm or pnpm and add your credentials. That's it. That's all that you have to do. And host, the best thing would be to host on Vercel. It's just one-click deployment. I'll just show you. We also have added this in our developer section right in our app.customgpt.ai. If you go over to developer section, under API, you'll see view demo, deploy, clone, and deploy now. So if you deploy now, it will open up in Vercel, and you just have to add your API key, and that's done. It's as simple as that. So now that I have my starter kit up and running on localhost 3000, just head over to settings option here. We'll have rate limiting enabled here. If you don't want to see the setting, you can just turn off it in your environment setting. That's controllable. So now the proper dashboard, you want to enable rate limiting or not, you can click on here and save settings or reset whatever you want. You can also add global rate limits that is applied to all the endpoints. But this is not that granular. But if you hover to agents, so it will list all the agents that is available in your account. So I have currently just 4 agents. Auden has around 1,000 agents by this time. Marco might be having 100 agents, or you might be having 10 agents. So I can set a, I'll close this. So for this, let's say developer starter kit, I want per minute limit of just 3 queries and not more than that. And yeah, enable rate limiting, save. So now that, yeah, it's saved, I can head over to my general section, go to chat and ask few questions. Hey, how are you doing? So that will be counted as one question. Okay, it says try again later. Let me just refresh it for once. Just ask it, hey. Let's debug what's the issue here. Container. This is one of the classic human. Okay, human verification required. So just because we were on this session for more than, I guess, 30 minutes, it is asking me to again verify. So let me just close and start again. They've also added the logs that you see here. Yeah. Turnstile verification required, please complete security challenge. So we have also added turnstile verification, which will check if you are a bot or not. So if I just restart it, you will see turnstile by Cloudflare checking if I'm a bot or not. Let me refresh. Yeah, this verification helps to prevent DDoS attacks, and yeah, human verification complete. Now let me check again if my rate limiting is properly done or not. So rate limiting, agents, it will show, yeah, 3, 10, save, rate limiting on. Now let me go back and ask a few questions, few simple questions like, hey, okay, you have a limit of 1 minute, please try again before trying. So the last 2 queries got counted as rate limiting. So let me adjust it again or reset it again by going to users, active, reset, yeah. Wait. Let's increase it to 5 for now. Rate limiting saved. Again, go back to chat. Asking, hey. Yeah, this time works. So basically, you just don't have access to apply rate limiting on this particular interface. This is a complete developer starter kit. You can also add rate limiting to widgets. So I'll show how it looks like in a minute. So hey, again, just so it does not answer long text. So keep people waiting for that. That 2 questions I asked it. Again, hi again. Okay, thank you. Hey, 3. But the caveat for adding the rate limiting on a standalone widget that you can embed is that this starter kit needs to be deployed somewhere. So how it's done and what it's done. Hey, how are you? So how it's done and what it's done, I'll just, okay, rate limit exceeding. So that's how you can limit the quota or your query credits that you get with your account, and it might help you not to become prey of someone who's just emptying your query for anything like that. So that's one thing. You can also rate limit based on IP of that particular user. So if you go to users, you will see the IP of that user. This is my IP. Suppose this is someone else's IP. I can just take this IP. This is my IP. I can take this IP over here, go to IP management, add an IP rule. Let's say this is my IP. And either I can block this IP or apply some custom rate limiting to it and save the configurations. That's how you can either stop by IP or you can apply limits to your agents. So that was all the things. You can also test if you want to by sending requests. This is also some little thing we have added. We won't recommend this to you to have this in your production system, but just for you to take a look at it. And yeah, That's all. That's all I wanted to show you for this demo. So yeah, Dr. Malia, if this is something that you would like to implement somewhere, just you can let me know. I can prepare a full demo of this on how you can do with the widgets thing.
Thanks, Priyansh.
Great. Just let me stop sharing and show the video. So that's all we had in store for us. We are already like 30 minutes, around 30 minutes. So the floor is open to you for questions that you may have.
If you do that deploy for the that like starter kit thing, does that wipe out anything you already have? I already got like 15 agents, I think, or 10 agents that I already have stuff set up specifically for their personalized, the personas, all that stuff. Does that wipe any of that out if I start to use that now?
No. It's so starter kit basically is just a wrapper on top of CustomGPT's API endpoints. So it's not anything different. It's just built on top of it. So nothing gets this affected by it.
And does it also, yeah, so it does the queries. Does it also allow you to restrict the files?
When you say files, you mean file
Like,
uploads?
or uploads, yeah.
No, you can, let me show you. So how you can do this, you can just head over to README and see the optional features, how to add turnstile or Redis for this API endpoint thing. So no, if you use the widget, you won't have the file upload thing currently there. So we don't support the file uploading widgets for starter kit. It's available natively in the platform, but for this, I have just restricted it to not have any sort of interaction. It's text only for now.
Okay, yeah, I've already written it into my API that I have, that I'm running everything through that. I just didn't know on a globally if I was able to manage it on that side better, so.
Yep. If this is something you would like to have, just you can create an issue over here and we'll track it on, prioritize it to add this on the starter kit. And for the folks who want some custom features, like we got a request to add voice to widgets, which is currently just in starter kit, not in widgets. So just create an issue and we'll prioritize based on that. Other than that, I also had something to show you. You can go ahead and check the changelog section we have added recently around last week or so on what all things that we do on a day-to-day basis, the updates, bug fixes, improvements. Usually it's bi-weekly, but from past couple of weeks, Marco has been actively developing and just writing all the change logs for us. So that's something you can take a look over here. Also, if you want to use our API docs or the entire docs and feed it to some LLM or AI agent or your IDE, you can use our docs MCP server at docs.customgpt.ai/MCP. So your AI agent like Claude Code, Codex, or normal Claude Desktop will be able to fetch all the documentation that we have. And the last thing, you can see our latest open API.json spec if you just click the link over here. So this is again something which contains up-to-date data of all our API endpoints and what got added. We have some new endpoints. So what is the one source of truth for that? So this will be the URL that you would be looking for it. So that's something on the developer side of things. We have added it under API references. If you go here, you will see this nice little 2 lines. So yeah, that's I wanted to show you. Great. So if anyone has a question, feel free to ask. Or Alden, if you have something to say about this Vision AI, I think a lot of people were asking if you can use image or not, if you can use audio or not, anything on your side of things.
Yeah, so the whole principle and the business behind the vision is that there are a lot of use cases like medical and manufacturing where their whole life depends on images. So they'll have images in PDFs, they'll have diagrams of some printer or some machinery. So the whole idea was that till now, we've only been extracting text from the content that you'll have. Whereas now the hope is that we'll not only extract out imagery, but also understand it, right? And there's many use cases, like whether you can imagine images from PDFs, or what I am hoping is that when we suck in information from a website, then it can also understand the imagery on that website, right? Like imagine pulling in a blog post and the system actually understands the graphs and the info charts and all of that on the blog post and can speak to that, right? So that would be like good experiences that we are hoping that we can do.
What about like videos?
Not
Short ones.
there yet. So videos has, there are two components to videos. One is the words that are being uttered in the video. So right now, if say your videos are hosted on YouTube, we have a pretty good YouTube integration. So in that case, the system will download the words that are being uttered, like the transcript basically. And so you can ask questions of the videos and say, okay, what did Tom say about dogs? Right? And it'll be able to answer. But somewhere in all this, the next step would be to actually analyze the video and say like, oh, look at that, Tom is playing with his dog and the dog is a brown chocolate lab. So that part of analysis I feel like is a couple of months away.
Okay, because I do a lot of things for public safety, like law enforcement, and that would be the thing we're looking at is like uploading body cam videos. So I already have a solution that basically integrates your thing into that. It provides a lot of information, a very valuable tool. But that would kind of be like the next step that I would like to try to take it, is where it would be able to assist them by analyzing that video if they have that body cam.
Yeah, totally. Like in public domain, there was this example I saw from another government county where somebody was uploading an image and a document, and they said, "Is this imaging violating any of our, property laws?" Right? For example, some of these counties have laws that say, like, if you put an extension but you have not reported it, then we need to tax you, stuff like that. So that would be extremely difficult to do manually, but now they are just able to take pictures, attach it using, I think, the document analyzer, and hopefully be able to compare it against whatever their policy is, right? So the query here becomes the image, and that is compared against whatever your policy documents are. And that's really, in this case, I think the use case was they wanted to make sure they are getting paid for all the
Yep.
taxes that are owed.
I've got a question on the visual aspect, and from a perspective of reference points. So, for example, I'm thinking about this from a shopping environment. So maybe I need a plumbing accessory, and as a consumer, if I were to take a picture of whatever item I needed, could I then load that into the chatbot for it to do a reference and say, you know what, yes, we've got valve X available?
Yes, you would. That was that case that explained that we don't have citations yet for that feature. So you would be able to do that, and it would give you the results, but it would be just text. So you wouldn't have a link to what you need. You wouldn't have like image there. That's something we will do in the next 2 weeks. Will be in the new Dart, and then you can use this document analyst feature, allow users to upload picture of whatever problem they have. For example, you can take a photo of your room and say, I need a new couch here. What good couches that you have that would fit there, and it should be able to solve stuff like that. But right now you just don't get backlinks to the source material.
Okay, so it can almost like do a bit of a diagnostic out of the visual that you submit as a user against the reference point.
Yes, just like one thing that is important for people to understand. We work in a way that we take the photo, convert it to text. and then we take the other photo and convert it to text, and then we compare two texts. This is what happens. And this text can be detailed, and it will, generally for this product stuff, it will be good. But this technology that we are right now using, I would not recommend using for like diagnosing medical conditions. But for this like business use, product search, for that it should be.
Okay. So Marco, what is basically happening under the hood is the image that Dr. Amalia is uploading, or whatever the user is uploading, is being described and converted into text. And then
Exactly.
that is compared to whatever her knowledge base is. Correct? Okay. So
Exactly.
image to text, and then in the knowledge base, whether there are images or text, then those also are converted to text, and that is what is being matched. And hopefully among all of this, like, good stuff happens on a semantic basis. So that's, yeah, okay. So this should hopefully work for things like the plumbing example that Dr. Amalia mentioned, but will probably not work if I take an X-ray of my lungs and say, like, tell me if I don't know, I'm smoking too much or something like that. I don't smoke, but I'm just using that as an example. So okay, cool. So image to image, the world has not reached there yet, I'm guessing. Okay.
I guess we'll reach first. Marco has some plans for that.
Okay.
Also,
Yeah,
Marco,
I tried it for another project before, and it's still, there is some way to go for image to image.
Marco had a question, like, can we upload images via the API endpoint from where we upload files?
I would need to check, is it live now or will be live in the next few days? I'm not 100% sure, but it's been done, just not sure it's deployed.
Got it. I'll just.
I think it is available. It should just use the same endpoint, like when you upload regular files, there's just a new parameter that you need to enable to activate this flow.
Got it. Yeah, Thomas.
I was going to say, with the API, I made it so I can upload it. I can upload files. So I guess it would also be able to do images the same way.
Yes, this is just to activate this vision processing. It is not activated by default. You need to enable it in UI and API to say the system that it should use that for images. Otherwise, they will go just to regular OCR. So that's the only difference.
Okay.
Great.
Cool. Anybody wants to share anything exciting that they are doing? What are you up to, Dr. Amalia?
Doing some, actually, from a CustomGPT point of view, doing a tweaking with a little bit of research. So using the tool as a deployment for an always on research mechanism for a retailer. So one of our big stock exchange listed entities, and it was more of an experiment to see how people would respond. So customer satisfaction surveys, which have run really, really nicely. And people seem to like the engagement from an AI point of view, and also that it responds so quickly. So literally within a minute, they've done their survey. And then just also integrating that into dashboards. So clients very happy to see his outcomes on a visual side of things. So it's been a nice experiment.
Nice. And so what is the data source in that? It's a constantly updating, like Google Drive?
Actually, it's a zero data source. So it's just using it's using the LLM. I think we've gone with a 4.0, and it's utilizing questions. So pretty standard questions. So in terms of, are you happy with the marketing services? Are you happy with the SLAs of the water facilities? So it was also interesting of running that without having a database, a knowledge base in place.
Okay.
And I think maybe that's what kept it quite light. So yes, people have liked it, and I think it's about the AI experience.
Awesome. And this type of customer, are their customers interacting only through the web interface, or do they have like actual?
Actually, so in this environment, it's been a one-on-one exchange. So as they interface and connect with their tenants, and literally we've done it as a QR code, so that they've received it immediately, or to scan it off of their mobile devices, so that they've got that immediate prompt. So it's just it's utilizing your interface, so not going into any other deployment. So it's kept it very, very simple.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. QR code straight into. Cool.
And I'm very interested in digging deeper into the rate limiting aspects that Bianch has shared, as that's been a solution we've been looking for. So I'll get into the documentation, and then I'm sure I'll be in touch with them.
Cool.
Sure. Yeah, Thomas.
So just to give you guys, I embedded in an application that I have. I was able to get it recognizes the personality of the user to address them, to give it a more personalized effect. That where it passes that in my code, it passes it and engages it with the API. It also allows them to continue the conversation through the API and logs it. So that way there's a audit log, at least through my application, that's able to pull it in. And I did all your dashboards. And also to continue it, because for public safety and everything, a lot of that is internal. I was able to then make an iOS app, include that embedded inside of it, so that the same user that logs in on the iOS app is able to pull in their conversations that they can view remotely and continue with right from the app. And I'm working on trying to get a feed for some data that would constantly go in. I wrote some scripts, mainly like almost like using like an ETL of pulling data in, so that way you can ask it what happened in the last 48 hours. Now with that number search, it kind of helped a lot with that, to be able to identify certain things.
Okay. Cool.
That's a nice use case.
Yeah. So like you want the last 48-hour feed of something.
Yeah, so it's like calls for service. And what I did is I wrote some YAML files that I put in, that I have it explaining it how I wanted to respond to certain things, what I wanted to focus on, criteria and things like that. So I was able to shape the personality a lot more refined than to use the persona all by itself. And I wrote some of my own, I'll say, query prompts, algorithms that I had it to do, that users can say, when I call it quick check, and it's able to do something, or I do a stack up, and that has a certain prompts and sort of workflow that it does, that provides the user a certain response, guides them through things, and analyzes the data that it gave them.
Awesome. Cool.
I get bored and don't sleep.
Yeah. And on our side here,
So next time I wake up at 3 a.m., I'll text you in the Slack, okay?
I'll probably be up. Don't worry.
yeah. Well, on our side here, what we are doing, we are starting a POC with a company that is building an agent that it's not only an agent, it's an entire app, but built around the agent to answer questions about essential oil. The interesting part is that they want to be like a big reference, like a curated reference for essential oils. Because of that, what we are working, which I believe is pretty interesting, it's in a way to visualize the knowledge base that we are using for the agent. And so maybe I can share my screen real quick. I can show you, because those things are hard to explain. It's easier to show. So hopefully you can see my screen.
Okay.
So this is the visualization of, and you can see my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the visualization. We are managing their knowledge base. It's about 1,200 files, something around that. And we have assigned tags to organize each one of them. And in this graph, you can view the entire knowledge base, visualizing it. So you can go through the nodes, and you will see, oh, this is the tags, and these are all the studies or all the documents in their knowledge base related to sleep. Now, the interesting part of that is that, again, we're talking about essential oils here. So this allows us to get insights on the relationships of the documents on the knowledge base. So, for example, if I take lemon, these are the documents in the knowledge base related to lemon. And those are the tags that are 2 degrees of separation or up to 2 degrees of separation from lemon. And what I can do also here is I can say, let's say, pain. So I can see that pain and lemon, they do not relate. They are completely apart in the knowledge graph. So they don't relate. But I can look at those interactions. So let's see if I take. Let me take one that I know about. Let's say blood. And I can see all relationships, all how blood relates to other documents in their knowledge base. And this for them is really important, because as you have more and more documents in your knowledge base, it's really hard to get a grip and curate it, if you will, and keep it updated. So all those visualizations and all those things are kind of interesting. And yeah, so those are one of the things that we are doing.
So Mario, this is awesome. And what's the use case here to try and reduce the amount of time it takes to analyze documents?
Well, there are 2 use cases here, to be honest with you. One is exactly what you pointed out. I mean, these will help them as we get more and more documents in the knowledge base. You always have to face a decision: should I add one more document? Do I have enough documents about this specific topic or not? What other documents should I look to actually make my knowledge base better? So instead of adding more and more documents about, I don't know, Lyme or whatever, sleep, which is the biggest thing that we have there, looking at that visual representation helps you to decide what other things you can look for. So this is one thing. The other thing in that very specific case is because they are planning to sell access to this knowledge, to this app that will contain an agent that will be able to answer questions about essential oils. So we are feeding all those documents to the agent to build the RAG. So the clients will be able to go there and say, hey, I'm having trouble sleeping. What essential oil should I use? How should I use it? And this kind of thing.
Correct.
Now, for the user to trust the platform to do that, offering the user to look at those visualizations to understand how many research articles we have supporting the agent's answers is something that they are considering as well. So it's kind of both to manage the knowledge base and to use as a marketing, if you will, to help the users perceive their knowledge around it.
Got it. So the graph is being used to shortlist the information.
Yeah.
Then
exactly.
you switch into generative AI mode.
Exactly. Now, what we're planning to do, this is not ready, but this is our idea, is that, well, because of that, so we have all those APIs from CustomGPT that helps to actually manage the knowledge base. So it will be fairly easy to integrate that with the API and actually manage the knowledge base from an app like this. So I can stage documents, say, yeah, now I put the document like in a staging environment, if you will, for the knowledge base. And then I see how it fits looking at the graph. And then I said, okay, now I want to actually add that to the agent knowledge base. And just with a click of a button, using the API, I would be able to publish it.
Got it.
So things like that.
Got it.
Mario, I think it's really interesting, and especially if you look at things from an academic point of view, with particularly maybe in terms of the business school environment, whenever anyone's doing anything from a literature review, of being able to link up and understand the relationships between different publications. I think that would be a really good sort of target for you with what you've been developing.
Thank you. Yeah, that's exactly the point. I mean, the initial demand was fairly simpler than that, but when we saw the potential around it, and I just show you one visualization that we're working on, the force-directed graphics, the technical name of that visualization. But there are so many other cool visualizations that you can use. You can use tree maps, you can use word clouds, you can use sunburst. There are so many cool visualizations out there that we can use. And I think visualization is a very powerful tool. I mean, that's why you use graphs in the end of the day, right? But combining all those things and AI, now it's really easy to do all of that. And because of the APIs, now all of them, that part you like it. One other thing that we have planned for that is that, okay, how about I now use the agent to actually using the vision or the image processing capability of the agent, I can generate a visualization. And instead of trying to interpret it myself, I give it to the agent to interpret it using the vision capabilities of the agent.
Correct.
And so there are so many possibilities around those things.
That's one possibility. The other one I was thinking about is right now the human is expected to use his hand and a mouse and move the mouse around. But what would be nice is if the human can just say what they want, like I should be able to just say, hey, I'm researching, diabetes. Please give me the things related to blood and lemon, right? And then that generates the GraphQL or whatever.
Exactly. I mean, instead of me selecting the tags that I want to filter, you just say it.
Correct. Yeah,
because it's really easy actually to implement.
Yeah, one of the big limitations these days is if we expect to have humans grab the mouse and move it around, that sort of limits the surface that something can be used.
Yeah, all that it's even
very important to have chat interfaces, voice interfaces.
I agree 100%. I mean, we cannot even expect them to do good prompts. So that's one of the things. I mean,
Totally. So. And especially like the depending on the sophistication of the user, like Dr. Melia, you mentioned like somebody had a plumbing problem, right? Who was the user and how sophisticated is he, right? If it's a very, very low sophisticated user, then you want to make it as easy as possible.
Yeah.
They should just be able to talk. And
most people still use it like a search tool, like just putting in keywords and expecting it to magically give you some nice answers. So
correct. Yeah. That was one of our early findings that, we always thought about AI as like, let's do prompt engineering, and all the sophisticated users, they are like typing big prompts. But if you go into real users, they are still typing 2 words like it's Google.
Exactly.
Right? And like one of the initial things we had done was to make sure that we put a layer in front of the query processing such that irrespective of what they type, we are doing as best a job we can of interpreting what they really want. Because we know that the users will type 1 word. Like it's shocking that there'll be a fantastic database and they'll say 1 word like bathroom or like
exactly.
So just reading their mind is become a critical part of query processing.
Yeah, and that relates to what Thomas was saying as well. I mean, if you can fetch data or infer data about the user profile and feed it into the agent, you improve that process. So this is all related.
Yeah. Yeah. All of us have to become like Facebook, where even before you open Facebook, they already know what we are thinking.
If I can collect as many data as they do about us, that's really cool. Yeah.
There was some research paper which said that before you open Facebook, Facebook has like a 65% chance that they already know what you're thinking.
Yeah, that's true.
Predictive analysis.
Yes, 65%. That is like insane. So cool.
There was a recent chat from top Facebook executive. They were like, "We don't listen to your voice at all. That's a myth. It's a serious legal violation." But they do correlate what your friends are searching, what friends are searching, which are living next to your hostel or living next to you, and then they show you ads based on that. So that was a shocking revelation for me. That if my friend is searching something, I'll also get ads based on that. So they are not listening to us actually.
That's been around for a while. Basically, they are correlating the GPS locations.
Yeah.
And it's been around for a while. Like I remember a time when my phone was sitting right next to my friend's wife, and the moment I reached home, it started showing me ads for whatever that friend's wife liked. Right. And I'm like, what is this? Like, I never sung a song in my life, and she's a great singer. So it started showing me ads for like singing stuff.
Watch the Social Dilemma documentary.
Yeah, totally. Cool.
Great, guys. Thank you for all the questions, and we'll see you after 2 weeks. We are already running short on time, and I'll just send you, again, the recordings of this video, the slides, and the links that I shared in the chat as well. And yeah, see you next week. Next week with some exciting updates. Yeah, thanks all.
Thanks, everybody.
Guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all again. Bye-bye. Thank you.